Good evening. It is Saturday, January the 11th, and we're going to do a couple of things tonight. I'm going to wait and see if a few people will be joining in. As usual, you can ask one question, and I will pull a card to see the answer. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Bug. Hi, Chris. I'm hoping we're going to get some new folks. Not that I don't enjoy the regulars, but we're going to try and get a few new folks in here tonight. And for those that have already asked questions this past week, we're going to kind of leave things open for the new ones first to see. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for joining. We appreciate it very much. Morrow, thank you for joining us. We got a lot coming in here tonight. Boy, this is good. Saturday night might be a good night to do this then. My regular videos will run on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, and I am trying to find out which weekend day or night is going to work best. So we'll see how it goes tonight. Hi, Adrian. It's good to see you here. I appreciate everyone coming out and joining in with us and supporting this. We appreciate it very much. Will it snow in South Carolina soon? I don't know, Bug. It looks like you guys might get snow quicker than we will up here in Delaware. I'm very disappointed. I was kind of hoping we'd have snow up here already, and we had the one day, but it was gone within a couple of hours, so I don't think that counts. Hoping everybody down south is staying safe and all this stuff. I've been watching the news reports, keeping an eye on things, and you all are my thoughts and my prayers, especially those in the path of the storms. So be safe. Raging Cajun, I hear ya. Thanks for joining us. Hope everyone's doing okay tonight and everybody's safe. Any of our new folks tonight, if you'd like to ask a question, please feel free to do so. If it is personal and you'd rather not ask the question out loud, that's fine. You can just say, hey, do you mind drawing a card for me? And I will do that. I do offer readings, private readings. They're a lot more in-depth. And of course, it's personal, it's private. There's a lot of things that we'll discuss in those readings. And I offer private readings for 30 minutes for $35 and an hour for $65. While we're waiting on a couple of people to come in, I was going to show you some pretties that Chris made. I had these on the video the other night. We have, of course, the one I'm wearing. There's some seafoam green rings in there. It's aluminum rings, and they're silver. And then you've got in the center some seafoam green. We have this beauty right here. Chris calls this the Royal Gem. And of course, that's your silver and purple. We have gorgeous little anklet here that he did. And the colored beads that you're seeing are glass beads. They're glass donut beads, beautiful, hand blown. Please do not mind the markings on my hands. Chris was such a sweetheart and bought me a fountain pen for Yule, with me being a writer. And today I spent time putting ink in it. So you can look at my hands and kind of tell how that went. Not too good, but I'm getting used to it. And another little pretty that he has here. This one is done out of stainless steel, so it is a lot heavier than the other ones. This is a bracelet, and I wish you could kind of see the detail. It's kind of raised there in the center. It's two rows joined together. But if anyone's interested, please message me, say hello, whatever it is, and I will get prices to you. We also always run a special. If you book a reading and buy one of the nice pretties, we will give you a discount on both. I do have some openings. I've got one tonight and a couple tomorrow. So if anyone is interested in a private reading, just say, hey, send me a message, whatever, and I'll make sure that we get some time set aside for you all. So with that being said, we got our first video loaded up on YouTube today. I've been adding the Facebook videos to it, but today was the first tutorial video that I pinned up, and we're getting some good feedback on it so far. I'm excited about that. I love doing these videos. I really do. It's a lot of fun to be able to talk to everybody and get to know everybody and hopefully help some people out. So, does anyone here have a question that they would like to ask before we get started? Anyone? Audrey, you're having a rainstorm down there now? Stay safe, kiddo. It's been very warm up here in Delaware today. It hit upper 60s, and we've had the fan on and the windows open, and I am burning up. So it's not been a good day for me. I don't do well in the warmer temperatures. Adrian, of course, I have no problem with that, dear. Just going to shuffle right now and see what happens. Get that feel. Hi, Robert. Okay, Adrian, the card that kind of jumped out for me is an air card, and air rules our thoughts and our communication. And this is the actual intellect card, okay? It's our Ace of Swords. We like these aces. Aces always means an abundance. Teresa, I'll get to you, I promise. This is, use your intellect right now in things that are surrounding you and things that you're wanting to accomplish and do. You've got the knowledge to make it happen. And it could just be a matter of how you pose certain things to other people to make them a little more receptive. So it's all about in your communication process of using that intellect and communicating with others. Does that make sense? I hope. Audrey, now it's cold. Anything above, below 70, Audrey's freezing. Okay, Teresa, I'm going to shuffle for you now, dear. Okay, Teresa, the card that I'm pulling is our 5 of discs. Discs is earth, okay? And the element of earth rules our grounding and our stability, our finances, and our knowledge. And this is a restriction in those areas. Usually when this comes up, I tell people, be careful. Financially, there could be something coming up over the next probably 5 weeks that could cost a little more than what you're expecting. It could be something as, something like a hot water heater going out, furnace breaking, something like that. So definitely be careful. Start hoarding some money away. Start saving up for that. Also, it could point to be very restricted in your other dealings with other people. If it's something that can cost money to you, we don't want to do that. We want to hold off on that, okay? Adrian, yes, ma'am. I just presented to 400 people at work last week, Major Fear, and I did really well. Thank you. You're welcome. Good job, Adrian. Good for you. I'm so glad it went well. 400 people, that's a lot. That is a lot. Chris shared with a couple of groups that I was going to be reading live tonight, and he's, one of them was several thousand people, and I started getting a little bit of butterflies in the stomach. So I can only imagine to actually have 400 people. And I'm teaching my first class at Quirky Lotus. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad that opened up, and it seems like it's going well. You guys are awesome down there. So great job. Good luck. Hi, Brian. That is great news, Adrian. I wish you guys the very best of luck. Hope everything goes well. I think it's very important to have that down there in that area. Definitely, it provides a safe venue without ridicule or worry. I know a lot of people in that area. You have to be careful. You're welcome, Adrian. Hi, Robert. Good to see you. Robert's the one that told me the other day when I posted I had some reading spots open, and he says, you got to go live with this, dear. And I'd been putting it off and putting it off. And my husband had been encouraging me for quite a while now, and a couple other people have been encouraging me. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And I did it, and I am so grateful that I did it. I have so much fun with you guys. It's a great way to pass some time, to get my name out there, to give some folks some help. Hi, Margie. Yeah, Adrian, I wish I could have seen it before we headed up. Please do, Audrey. Please be careful when you're cutting anything. Remember, that dream kind of freaked me out a little bit. I had a dream a couple of weeks ago that Audrey cut herself really bad, and I woke up just in a cold sweat. It was really bothersome. So I sent her a message, and I'm like, just be really careful with them fingers for a little while. So, yeah, definitely be careful, Bug. Anybody in the upstate of South Carolina area, make sure you check out the Quirky Lotus. I believe it's in Spartanburg, isn't it, Adrian? There's some great ladies there. Some of you all might know them. They work with the, if I'm wrong, Adrian, please correct me, with the Red Tent meetings that you have down there. I will, Adrian. I definitely will. We're hoping to come back for a visit here in a couple of months or so, so we'll see how that goes. If not, then maybe for the holidays by the end of the year for sure. You guys will still be there. Thank you, Adriana. I appreciate that. So, if anyone wants to ask a question, I'm doing a one-card question or one-card answer for any questions tonight. Again, if you do not want to ask your question in public, that is fine. If you do not have a question necessarily to ask, that is fine. You can just say, hey, pull a card, and I'll be more than happy to pull a card for you, okay? Okay, Red Tent of the Upstate, I was correct. And they have a meeting tomorrow. Any of you ladies in the Upstate area, Audrey, that's up your area too. You're in Woodruff, and I believe they're in Inman. You might want to check that out one month when they have one. Some great ladies. You met a lot of them at Goddess Empowerment. So definitely, anybody, if you can, check it out. If you're not sure the details, what have you, get a hold of Adrian Garrett, and she will be able to pass that information on to you. See, I'm throwing you out there, Adrian. So everybody that's joining in so far, thanks for joining in tonight. Like I said, I'm kind of getting an idea of what times and days work better. I know when I do these live feeds around 8 o'clock, sometimes it's a little difficult, especially if you have wee ones that you're trying to get settled into bed at night. That's fine. We're going to alternate on Tuesdays and Thursdays, where one day will be earlier in the evening and one night will be a little bit later. So maybe you can catch us after you've got the kiddos in bed and such. So, thank you, Adrian. You too, dear. Yes, Adriana, you definitely want details. And Audrey, you remember Adrian and Amanda and Tab, and they were all there at Goddess Empowerment, so you might want to catch up with these ladies. Hi, Carl. Thanks for joining us. It's good to have you here tonight. So we've got the first video up today, the tutorial video. It's not very long. You can find us at on YouTube as Marie's Curious Roots, and I'll make sure that I post a link to that. Please, please, please check us out. Definitely, if you would please hit subscribe so you'll get notifications when we post new videos. And I am taking just the gist of the classes that I used to teach, and I am sharing that on the videos. And we're just trying to promote awareness out there. We're trying to educate people, and we're trying to let people know that they're not alone. Yeah, Bug, I thought you would remember them. One of the biggest things back in probably 2004, 2005, and this is like pre-Facebook for me. It was back when we were on MySpace a lot. That was a long time ago, y'all. a lot of people that I was coming into contact with were telling me, hey, I thought I was alone and I didn't know there were any more out here like me. And oh, hun, you guys are not alone. And that's a big part of what those videos are for. It's a way for people to get informed information and to kind of help people find their way. I'm real big on that. Hi, Suzanne. It's good to see you tonight. Thanks for joining us. Yes, they are, Adriana. They're awesome ladies. They really were. Our Goddess Empowerment was enriched by having them there. And you'll hear me mention Goddess Empowerment Weekend on occasion. It was an annual weekend gathering for the ladies that we had once a year in the spring. We got together and it was all about empowering and inspiring and uplifting and encouraging each other. And there was no judgment. There's never any judgment at Goddess Empowerment. It's just a way for us all to come together and kind of recharge and rejuvenate. And I'm hoping to get something like that started up here in Delaware. I'm going to be working on that hopefully for next year. Carl, like what? I'm not sure what that means, my dear. Could you elaborate, please? Like I said, if you want to book a private reading, just either comment here or send me a private message, and we will get you in as soon as possible. I promise. What about for the men? Oh, well, for the men, we were trying to start something down there called Weekend Warriors. And unfortunately, that never really took off, but that's something that we might look into doing up here in Delaware. And I would love to see other areas have this. I was inspired by a goddess ritual that I went to, a retreat that I went to in Tennessee back in 2012, I'm pretty sure. Yes, 2012. And I was really inspired by the energies that were manifested that weekend and the loving embrace that we all received and that we all shared with each other. And it was really, really good. And it was a turning point in my life when that happened. And so I really wanted to bring that to the upstate of South Carolina area. And that's why we started GEW there. So like I said, it's something that I would like to see take off in other states. I think a lot of places need that. I do agree, Carl, the men need that too. It's very helpful. And you had a lot of us that we lived for Goddess Empowerment each year. It was a great time to come together and just really recharge. So I would like to see that spread. And if any of you have the means to be able to do that in your area, please, 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 please send me a message and I will give you more info. I love to plan events. It's one of my not only jobs, but it's one of my hobbies. So I like doing things like that and getting everyone together. It's great fellowship, great times, great food, great fun. Hi, Emily. It is like a retreat, Carl. It was a weekend long retreat, and you didn't have to be pagan. You did not have to be Christian. You didn't have to have any religious affiliation. It was just a time for everybody to come together, and we all referred to each other. For the ladies, we all referred to each other as goddesses that weekend. We all kind of got stuck with nicknames here and there, whether it be Rainbow Goddess or our Kitchen Goddess, whatever. But yeah, we just treat each other like the goddesses that we are. And again, I think it's very important that the men do that too. During the weekend, we offer workshops. Do I teach spells? I do teach in my teachings. There is a very, I'm very responsible for what I'm going to teach. And so I try and teach you the very beginning and move on forward. We progress through spell work and teach you how to look at the big picture of things. I've had people say, well, why do your spells work when you work them? Well, not only is it because I have faith that they do, but also because I do look at the big picture. So yes, I do teach spells. And the classes that I teach, it was a year-long course. and it was taking you from the very beginning. What is paganism? What does it mean? How it got started, and then we move forward and we touch base on a lot of things from spell work, oils, herbs, gemstones, holidays, ritual etiquettes, rituals, meditations. We even talk about our crystal and our indigo children. And if you've never heard of any crystal children or indigo children, please, please, please look this up. It's very interesting information. But we touch base on all that in the classes. I teach guided meditations while we do it. It's kind of like taking you through the first year. My students, the first year, they're all my little children. They're all my little witchlings. Do you have to be a witch to take the class? No, you don't. You just have to be open-minded and want to learn. So definitely, it's something that I've gotten out of doing the past several years. And now that we're getting situated up here and getting settled, and we do have a move coming up at the end of the month. I'll be moving a little further up in Delaware. But once I get settled into Delaware, I'm going to start teaching again. Audrey, maybe that's something that I can look to. Yeah, kiddo, definitely. I would have no problem with that if you guys, I mean, hey, it's all about inspiring and uplifting and encouraging. And definitely just because I'm not there doesn't mean it can't be done, y'all. Awesome, Carl. I've had students that come through and they know nothing, and then I have students that come through and are much more advanced than most students are. I learn from every student that I have, and I love learning from the new students. I think it is amazing, and I am so very blessed to have some pretty incredible students in my past. I've learned from everyone. I really have. I have learned from every student that I've ever had. Whether it be a good thing or a bad thing, I have learned from them. And it's wonderful. How far am I from Felton? I am in Felton, Carl, at this time. I will be about 15 miles or so up the road towards the Smyrna area here in a few more weeks. So we're in the process of packing and getting everything together and getting ready to move. It will be so much fun, but I'm looking forward to it. We've got some great friends up there. Hi, Anam. Thank you very much. I've been working on schoolwork today and promoting, so I haven't really done too much today. And I went to jump on and I thought, oh my gosh, looking a little rough, y'all. I know it. I know I'm a little tired today, but that's just with everything going on. So I appreciate the comment. Thank you very much, dear. In Felton? Carl, your brother lives in Felton? For those of you not familiar, Felton is a very small town in Delaware. It is south of Dover. We're about maybe 10, 15 minutes from Dover, which is the capital. You're in LA. Wow. Never been. I've been as far as Texas, you guys, and that's as far as I went. Okay. Yeah, I probably ran into your brother at the store around here because there's only like two. I don't get out much here in Felton, which is a part of us moving. It'll help us with transportation and getting around a little bit better. So I'm really excited, and I haven't been to where we're going before, so it's all new to me. I love to travel, even if it's 15 miles down the road. I don't care. 15 miles can be an adventure. But yeah, I want to get out to the West Coast eventually. I want to see some places out there. My husband's grandfather was from or lived in Washington, and Chris has told me a lot of great stories about that area. I'd love to be able to see it. Oh, Adrian, I've heard. I'd love to see it. I really would. I have been as far up as Newark now. Newark, not New Jersey, Delaware. Hey, Kelly. Speaking of one of our goddesses, And I have been as far west as I'm probably going to butcher this. And if my friend Ducky tunes in, she'll let me know. But Gillette or Gillett, Texas. I know we were southwest of San Antonio. We were out in the middle of oil field after oil field after oil field. Seattle is amazing. I'd love to see it. Hazel. Oh, nice to see you here, dear. We're all like, Kelly, Hazel, yay! I have to share the amusing story about Miss Hazel here. When I first switched over from MySpace to Facebook, and I knew nothing about Facebook, and this was, a long, long time ago. And I was looking for like-minded people, and I came across Hazel DeHealer. And she was just so full of so much information that she shared with everyone. And I was learning so much from her, and I looked up to her and just, I just thought, what an amazing soul this woman is. She's just absolutely incredible. And then I always thought I want to meet her. She lived in South Carolina, so I thought that would be a possibility because at the time I was in the upstate. She was in about mid-state or so, right past Columbia, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right, Hazel? And I had a girl pop up one day, and she was going to meet me out at PPD. And we met out at PPD, and I thought, well, she acts like I know her. She seems like a sweetheart. She acts like I know her. And I figured it was just somebody I'd talked to on Facebook, And so we met out there, and we hang out for the day, and we had a great time, and things are going good. And it was maybe a couple of years later, we were at a ritual, and Hazel was there. And it amazed me. Okay, just outside Lexington. That's what I thought. And she was standing there, and I heard her talking to someone else. And she was like, yeah, well, I'm Hazel on Facebook. And I remember standing there thinking, oh my gosh, that's her. The same woman that I hung out with at PPD that day. I did not put two and two together. I felt like a complete idiot. But I was just so moved and so grateful that our paths did cross because, like I said, I really looked up to her. And it's great. Carl, you have a good evening. Oh, sweetie, you always have prayers. Definitely. We'll keep you in our prayers. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Tara. Hi, Norma. Hi, Joey. Hi, Rhonda. Thanks for joining. But yeah, I just stood there, and when I heard her say Hazel, and I'm like, huh? That's her? And I was so embarrassed. And so whenever I see her, I always think back to that time of what an amazing person she was or is, an amazing soul. And she really has been there a lot for me, you guys. She's a great person to learn from. Now, does anyone have any questions they want to ask tonight? If not, we're just going to chit-chat a little bit until someone does. That's all right, Hazel. I am so glad we met. I consider her one of the blessings in my life, and I'm just so grateful for her. I'm grateful for everyone I come into contact with, whether it's a good experience or a bad experience. I learn from everyone. Whether it be I learn not to do certain things again, or I learn that maybe that's not the type of person I want to have in my little circle and share energies with. Whatever it is, I learn from everyone. Everything's a learning experience. I think we all need to kind of look at life that way. Norma, I hope you're doing good tonight. For those that have just joined, what I do is if you want to ask a question, please feel free. I will pull a card and answer your question. If you are not sure about sharing your question in public, that is completely fine with me. Just say, hey, can you pull a card? If you do not have a question, but you would like a card read, say, hey, can you just pull a card? And I will be more than happy to do that. I do offer private readings. 30 minutes is $35. An hour is $65. I do have a couple of openings. So if you would love to set up an appointment, please let me know and we will get that started. If I could be selfish, tomorrow's my birthday. Maybe pull a card. Oh, Adrian, that's not selfish at all. Definitely. Let me pull for your birthday, dear. Hazel, I will pull for you in just 1 minute. Adrian, it's our warrior card. Okay? We know you are that warrior already. But you could have some issues that pop up during the year where you have to take on that persona of a warrior. It is quite all right to be that way. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad year. It just means that you're gonna have a few struggles along the way. Okay? And Hazel, I'm going to shuffle now and pull for you. And when I shuffle, I just shuffle until my gut tells me that they're done, and then I'll pull a card, whatever pulls my energy. Sometimes I get it right off. Sometimes it takes me a minute to pull the right card. We've got our 7 of Wands, Hazel. It's fire, passion, drive, desire, motivation, determination, and transformation. And it is that rival card. It's a rivalry card. Is there someone that is interested in the property also? You're welcome, Adrian. That's right. You're the warrior girl. You got this. Hazel, if there's someone that's interested in the property as well as you, and this is what you're really wanting, and you've looked at everything, and this is something that's good for you, then fight for it, girl. Do not let it go, because the outcome can be very favorable for you. And also, Adrian, happy early birthday, dear. I hope you have a fantastic year ahead, and I hope that this is one of the best years yet, dear. I will, Hazel, and I'll get to it here shortly, I promise. Not a problem. Does anyone else want me to pull a card for them? You're welcome. Adrian, you're always welcome, dear. Always. Not a problem. I am going to try and pull this up, and I am going to copy and paste our YouTube channel in the comments. If you could, please check us out and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. But it's Marie's Curious Root. I just commented the link. It's something I just started this week, but I could really use the support, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, thank you, Adrian. Thank you very much. I don't know if other people would agree with you or not, but I'm going to try. Thank you, dear. Much love to you. Hey, Chad. Thanks for joining us. And whenever I post times for videos, please note that they are always Eastern Standard Time, since that is the time zone that I am in. And if there's a time that would work better, please let me know, and we will work on getting that, getting a video done around that time, you guys. I've got the cat and dog here beside me. The cat's wanting to play just a wee bit. Try not to scream when she gets me. Which, while we're just sitting here, you know, you guys will see pictures of them often. This is my Mitty kitty. She came with us from Anderson. We just got her the week that we moved up here, and she has become a very important part of our family up here. Love my Mitty kitty. And Emma is now sitting over there with her father. She is curled up on the pillow next to him. It's past her bedtime. Emma's she goes to bed early. Emma needs her beauty sleep. That's right, Adrian. I like your outlook on things. Appreciate it very much. And Mitty's going to climb back up here now. You might see her tail cross over. She's wanting lovings. She's amazing. Whenever I do readings, she's like all over me. She loves to lay on the cards. She walks on them. She imbues them with her special kitty mojo. There's her tail. She's sitting on my cloth now, and she's turned around looking at the cards. Mitty is definitely my sweetheart kitty. We got her from, those of you that know Amber back home, that is where we got Midnight from. The lady Emma is awesome. She's a little bit testy, but she and Midnight get along pretty well. It was a fun 14-hour drive up here with both of them in the vehicle. Midnight wanted to snuggle Emma, and Emma was having none of it. But after a little while, they settled down, and they've been little friends ever since. So don't mind me as I pet the kitty. To tell her no would not go over very well, I promise. She'd end up jumping on the laptop and knocking everything out. But she's beautiful. She's a sweetheart. We can't imagine our lives without her now. It's the best thing I ever did was moving up to Delaware, honestly. It's been a rocky road, but we love it up in Delaware. And we're meeting some great friends up here. And it's just a new time in our lives that we're really looking forward to seeing what happens. Although I do miss everybody. Norma, Emma, love you. I will tell her. I was kind of hoping I'd get Emma up here today, but like I said, she's over there with her dad, sat down on a pillow. Hi, Paul. See, I'm having fun. This is like an easy thing for me to do. I get to sit here, I get to pull cards at random, and I get to pet the kitty. That's not a bad Saturday night. Gamal, I hope I'm saying that right. I hope I'm not butchering it. If I am, I do apologize. Thank you for joining us. If anyone has a question they want to ask, feel free. If you don't want to share it in open forum, that's fine. You can say, hey, just pull a card for me. I've been reading for about 19 years now, almost 20. I started reading as a fluke, believe it or not. I was in a class with some other students, and we were, it was a pagan class, and everybody had all of these hobbies and these skills that they had that they were so great at. And here I was kind of sitting back in the back like I don't do anything. I could take great notes, and I can write a really, really slamming paper. And, you know, I'm in college now for creative writing, entertainment. So creative writing was always a thing for me. So I thought, well, I guess my thing, it's guided meditations, because my guided meditations always got good grades. And I went up to my teacher one day after class, and I was like, everybody has a skill. Everybody knows how to do something but me. And I'm not sure what to do. And she said, I'm so glad you asked. And she walked away from me for a minute, and she went to her bedroom, and she came back out, and she had a deck of tarot cards. And she handed me the cards, and she said, read them. And I said, I can't read them. I'd never looked at a set before. And she said, can't, never could, read them. And I just stood there and looked at her and felt like a fool. And she took the cards back from me, and she just kind of shook her head and walked off. And I felt about this tall. And I talked to a friend of mine after class and was explaining to them. And he was like, no, just wait. And he went and got his deck and handed it to me. And he said, read them. And everything fell into place. And I've been reading ever since. So I credit my teacher for teaching me, or for teaching me what I knew. if that makes sense. Hazel, another question. What new projects am I working on? Oh, we've got Marie's Curious Roots. Some of you all may know, I'll explain this. My religious preferences are Scottish and Scandinavian, but my magic is Creole Hoodoo. I'm a root worker, and I have a spirit guide that works with me. And oh, thank you, Suzanne. Bless you. Thank you. Hi, Michael. Thanks for joining us. I have a spirit guide that works with me, and her name is Marie. And my middle name is Marie. So instead of focusing more on the area that the Crooked Broom did, which was kind of like for all religions, we had a little bit of everything there for everyone: herbs, oils, incense, gemstones, spell kits, books, tapestries, a little bit of everything. But to me, it was more of your generic genres or generic traditions under paganism, not to belittle any of them at all, trust me. But that was more of what TCB was, the Crooked Broom was. And Marie's Curious Roots, I'm sticking to what I know best. It is a place where I sell ritual baths. I have ritual washes. We do intentional candles, of course, readings, just a little bit of everything, sort of like TCB was, but I'm really embracing that root working aspect a lot more, since that's what I do best. So I'm trying to build up things in that area to get Marie's Curious Roots going. I'm going to get back into teaching because it has been a while and I've missed it. And I feel like I have a lot to share with others, and that there is a lot of information for me to learn from others. So I'm getting back into teaching and definitely getting into my readings. And I don't know if some of you might have been following my Facebook. I am a published author now. It is a collection of short stories that I have written while thus far in school. There's some really good stories in there. It's available on Smashwords, and I am looking into doing a pagan-oriented book, as well as collaborating with a doctor out of India. Some of you might have seen him in here asking questions the last couple of videos we did, Dr. Singal. He's really great about mixing modern medicine with ancient practicing. So I'm really excited to see what happens with him and see where we go with this. But he's an amazing soul and very supportive, and he's teaching me a lot. So got a lot going on right now on new projects, Hazel. That, and of course, keeping up with school. So I finished school in October. And once I finish this up, I go back into school and I'm working for my master's. So yeah, it's going to be a busy several years ahead of me. You do foot, yeah, I like that footwork. It's all good, Hazel. I'll do it all. But thank you for saying so. Suzanne, you're right. The more we teach, the more we learn. Like I said, there's not a student I haven't learned something from yet. I think it would be very egotistical of me to say that I didn't learn from everyone, because it's just not the case. I do. Michael, that's true. It is. You learn a lot from teaching. I try, and the way I teach is I'll teach and say, okay, this is the way you'll get a lot of the mainstream public groups the way they do it, because I've been a visitor to a lot of different covens, groups, churches, what have you, to a lot of their different ritual work. And I've kind of seen how a lot of different people do things. And of course, I'm always reading, always studying. And thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that. And the way I teach is I'll say, okay, this is how a lot of people do it. This is the way the majority do it. This is the way I do it. Now we got to figure out what works for you, because what works for me is not going to work for you. Everything's different. And if it doesn't speak to your soul, then you don't need to be doing it. Hi, Jen. Mika. Hi, darling. Hope everything is going well for you, my love. Been a long time. So inspiring how you teach while you're a student. Well, thank you, Hazel. I could be a lifelong student, which we all are. I don't think a lot of us just realize that. But yeah, not one for derogatory, but I'm a knowledge whore, you guys. I'm like a sponge. I want to learn. I want to learn. I want to learn. It has been forever, Mika. I hope life's doing well for you, that it's treating you well and things are going well for you. You see Audrey. She knows. My mom raised me from a very early age. I had a book in my hand, and to this day, I still do of some sort. And so I'm constantly just soaking up things around me. And I've always said knowledge is power. It's personal power. It makes me a better version of myself. And that's what we aim to do. For me, that is my sole purpose on this planet, is to become the absolute best person that I can be. Exactly, Adrian. You're right. You're dead on. That's good to see. That's good to see, Mika. Yeah, things are going good. Suzanne, you have a good night. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Mika, I don't know if you know or not, but we moved to Delaware back in August, so it's been an adventure up here. But I'm loving it. Can't complain. Wouldn't do me any good anyway. Why complain? Always look for the positives in things. Which I will kind of turn the topic of conversation to that. While we wait, if anyone wants to answer or ask a question, please just type in, hey, do you mind pulling a card for me? Hey, this is my question. If you don't want to share your question, that's fine. But while we wait, I'm going to get on my little soapbox, because that's what I do. Hey, Shyla. It's nice to see you too, Christine. Thanks for joining us. Life can be tricky, and it can seem difficult and overwhelming. And I've gone through my own period of darkness, and I think I've been kind of transparent on that from the time that I lost my mother. It was a hard 4 years with her, dealing with her dementia, and I shared a lot of that on Facebook. It was my adventures with Mumsy, and it was a very personal time for me during that time. But I wanted to share, to let people know what was going on, and to let them see the effects of dementia, and really to get support from people. Also, I'll be honest, I was very selfish on that aspect. I needed support from those around me. And oh, thank you, Mika. I appreciate that, dear. Follow me on YouTube. I'm going to have some tutorial videos on there. You can scroll back up, and actually I'm going to post it again right now. This is the link to my YouTube channel. Please check it out, hit subscribe, and you'll get notifications when new videos are added. Yeah, Jen, we can. But during that dark time that I was going through with Mom, because it was so difficult to see a parent waste away like they do with dementia, and you know, dementia takes them from us long before the physical body leaves this realm. But it was just such a difficult time for me, and I got in a really bad funk, and nothing looked good for me. Everything was just depressing. And then, you know, of course, losing her was really, really difficult. She was my best friend, for better or worse, whatever our relationship was. It was a really hard time. And I felt like, now what? I've lost my mom. And it got me into such a definite funk. And changing my surroundings really. Sure, Christine, I'll pull one. And also for you, Jen, I haven't forgotten you. I'm going to pull Jen's next, and then we'll jump to Christine's. And hi, Glenn. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Shyla. But in changing my surroundings, it really changed my outlook on things again. I just needed to start over. I needed a fresh start, and I got it by moving to Delaware. and all those feelings of hopelessness that I was feeling, the darkness and all just kind of seemed to go away. And I highly recommend it for anyone. If you're in a funk, if you're down, if you're depressed and things aren't going well, reach out to those around you. You're not going through it alone. We've all had that at some point in our lives. Yeah, Mika, I'll pull for you too. So I've got Jen, then Christine, and then Mika. And Glenn, I'm glad you're here with Julie. Hi, Julie. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just going to shuffle. And kind of get a feel. When I get quiet, my eyes are closed. I promise I'm not sleeping. I'm just kind of feeling out the energy of the cards. Okay. Jen, we've got, okay, Audrey, we've got our 5 of Cups. It's water. This is all about emotions and intuition. Okay, and there's some regret going on. We need to keep those lines open with him. You need to keep communication going and find out what's going on with him. When we talked about it the other night, he's going through a lot and he's processing a lot, and this is all new to him. So just be open with him, be honest, let him know how you feel, let him know that you're there for support. I get it, Shala. I completely get it. Sometimes that's the way the gut works. It is very strange how that works. Christine, this one just flipped over, and I know this one's for you. This one is our success card. It's our 6 of Wands. If you'll look, you'll see that the Wands, it only has the point on the one end. It's not at the bottom. When we're looking at swords, you get sometimes you get the top and the bottom. But this lets me know that anything that you're passionate about, because fire rules our passion, our drive, our desire, our motivation, our determination, and it transforms us. So anything that you're passionate and motivated about right now, you are set up for success. So this is a time to start new projects if you'd like. As long as it holds your attention, though, and it has your interest, okay? Mika. Mika, we have our 10 of discs. Our discs rule our grounding and our stability, our finances, and it rules our knowledge. And this is the tradition card, okay? Now, this can be a warning to do not get so steep down in tradition to branch out while you're still holding on to your traditions and values, but also to kind of branch out and try new things, experience new things. I hope that helps. Christine, you're welcome. Jen, he was willing to date another woman, sent me their message. Oh, my. Well, if that's the case, hon, move on. Not unless that's something that you're okay with, but, you know, you say you can't, then definitely you don't need to worry about that. Adriana, we have our 6 of Swords card, but you'll notice it's in the reverse, okay? And it's the actual solace card. This is saying right now is not a time to go things on your own. It's a partnership surrounding you, and to tackle things that come your way as a partnership and not one-on-one. You're welcome, Mika, anytime. And Mika, if you ever need a reading, you let me know. I will get you in, okay? We'll get you a private reading going. My rates for private readings are very affordable. For 30 minutes, they are $35, and for an hour, it is $65. Yeah, Shala, I have no problem with that, dear. I've got Shala. It's our Green Man card. Okay. In traditional tarot decks, this is what we call our Fool card. And our full card, I'll get back to you in just a minute, Adriana. Shala, the full card is all about new beginnings. Okay. It's all about a new path. It's, we've talked about this before, how our paths in our lives, they run on cycles. And it's anywhere between 2 to 7 years, typically 5 to 7, though. And that once you get through with one cycle, you move on to the next. And this is the beginning of a new cycle for you. So we need to start cutting out things that do not belong in this current cycle. And we know what that is. So we need to work on that, my dear. Adriana, not following. What I'm saying is that right now, when things come up in anything that you are attempting to do and things that come up, any type of adversity, you are not going through it alone, that you will tackle it as a partnership with someone else. And, you mentioned doing GEW. Maybe that's something you and Emily can plan together. Hint, hint. You're welcome, Shala. In general, Adriana. Yeah, Mika, if you want a reading, you just let me know. Send me a private message and we'll get one set up for you, dear. And for readings, I accept PayPal, Chime, Cash App, Facebook Pay, and Payoneer for my European friends. That's right, Shala. You got this, girl. You're a strong warrior woman. You got this. So I hope that helps you guys. My private readings are much more in-depth and much more personal. I just do a quick one-card pull for these. Exactly, Shala. And I still keep going back to what we talked about before, Adriana, that we know is coming up. It's all about partnership. Think outside the circle, Bug. Collaborating is good for you to do right now, Bug. Like I said, maybe that's something that you and Emily will do. I don't know, Bug. I have no clue. And remember, degrees are just paper. That's the way I look at it. Took me a long time to get there. To me, getting a degree meant that I was doing something right. It meant that I was following through and I was learning, because I am so big on knowledge. And it took a lot of personal reflection to understand that a piece of paper is just a piece of paper. It doesn't change what I know. Does that make sense? I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to take a sip of my drink, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. It's been so hot up here today. I'm parched. Okay. The cards are just giving you direction, kiddo. And if you've never had a reading before, if you're concerned, if you're worried, that's kind of what this is. I get that, Bug. I do. I get it. Like I said, I was there. For a lot of years, I was there. You know that. But a lot of it is that nothing but a piece of paper. Yeah. That's what it is. That is exactly what it is. And that was why I got mine, Bug. I wanted to feel accomplished. But not every group acknowledges degrees. And I think it's a lot more what you put out there and what you do. But with work and all, that's something that we can look to, Bug. And so many groups. I mean, everybody does things different. Everybody kind of has a belief. Um, Groups will have certain practices and beliefs. One of the things about our group that I really liked is that we were so open to everything, as far as we were all on different paths. We all respected that. We all understood that. And when it came down to rituals, as a community, we came together and we celebrated regardless of what path it was. It was a new experience. It was great. So that's kind of the way I am. I kind of like to mix a little bit of everything because that's what works for me. You've got some great conversation going on tonight, you guys. Thanks. That is awesome. Chris just walked down the room. That's probably what you heard. Yes, Shyla, that is so true. That is so true. I think when you get with a group of people and you're like-minded and you are you have the only way I can describe it is a meeting of the minds. You all come together and your energies work with each other and you respect each other, then I think that let your group do what it wants to do. Exactly, Hazel. Exactly. Michael, you are from Long Beach, California. Wow, you are out there. You are. I was just telling them earlier, I've never been that far west. I've been as far as Texas, southwest of San Antonio. That's as far as I've been. And when I was younger, growing up in small town South Carolina, um, I was never one that wanted to see a lot of the more popular cities that in school we're taught about. I get up here and I am 2 hours outside of New York City, and honestly, I can't wait to go now. I want to go so I can say that I'm there. Yeah, Bug, I'm very proud of you for being back on your path. You need to. You need to. If that's what speaks to your soul, then that is what you need to do. If it doesn't speak to your soul, re-examine it. Figure out why. See if it's still worth your time and energy. Life's too short. It is way too short to waste. Hi, Stephanie. It's good to see you here. I'm out on the Fae path, kiddo. I can just teach you the basics. Other than that, I am out. She has, Shyla. She has. I actually refer to her in my instructional video that I did today, when I'm talking about the different paths. And for those that don't know, hi, Michael. Hope you're doing well, dear. For those that don't know, paganism is an umbrella term. Okay, there are a lot of paths that fall underneath paganism, and the fairy path is one of them. And Audrey will tell you, it's no disrespect to the Fae, but me and the Fae do not get along well. To me, and for people that follow the path and other people that may look at it, they may not see it like this, but to me, it's very chaotic. And I need structure. I need this, which is amazing because I am eclectic, but I still have that structure to it, if that makes sense. You're right, Audrey. You need to find one in that area, and we'll see about reaching out and finding somebody, because I want you to learn the absolute best information that you can. Hi, Ray. It's good to see you, dear. Baby due in July. Oh, wow. Gosh, all these babies are having babies, you guys. Stop. You guys growing up means I'm growing up. That's no fair. Yeah, see, Audrey will tell you, I don't do the Fae very well. No offense to them. Um, but I have issues when little things get stolen. Oh, Audrey. Adrian says, let her know when you find one. We'll ask around. We'll see if there's somebody down there that follows the Fae path that would be willing to teach. That won't be a problem. I know the basics too, Adrian. That's all I could ever teach was just the basics on the Fae path. The biggest thing I can tell you now is start looking things up online. Learn, 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 learn. You're going to have certain websites that will tell you one thing. You're going to have websites that will tell you another thing, and you have to see what speaks to you, my dear. No, I'm not a Gigi yet. Not yet. When Audrey has her babies, I will be Gigi. I was going to be Grammy because I thought I'll just be my own award. But I ended up deciding to go with the name Gigi because Grammy just sounded a little too much like grandma, and I just don't feel like a grandma yet. I'm 48. I'll be 49 this summer, but I just don't feel like a grandma. Exactly, Adrian. You know, your soul and what feels right. That's the biggest thing. That is the absolute biggest thing. Listen to that gut. Listen to your soul. Listen to your inner voice. It won't lead you wrong. God, can you imagine me with grandkids? Wow. That just blows my mind. The corruption that would take place. Oh, dear. Uncle Joe, thanks for joining us, love. Uncle Joe was one of my beginning teachers, you guys. So, you've got till July to figure out your name. Exactly, Hazel. It all speaks to the soul. It really does. In the beginning, because everyone around me was studying more of the Wiccan path, that was what I did. And I thought everything had to be like that. I thought magic was everything that I was taught in my class along more of the Wiccan path. And it was some years later before I realized that root working was my calling. That was what made sense to me. That's what I felt drawn to. That's what I could understand. That's what I could embrace. So, and once I started doing that, everything kind of took off for me. It wasn't long after that I opened TCB, and I had almost 5 amazing years with TCB. I loved it. I loved meeting my clients. I loved going out to the jockey lot where I had my store on weekends. It was just a really good time for me in my life. But that's who I was. I'm not that person anymore. I've grown. I have expanded my knowledge. I have become more comfortable with who I am. Instead of trying to be what everybody else was and what I saw everybody else trying to do, I finally come to a point where that doesn't work for me. It works for them, and that's great, but it doesn't work for me. And now it's all about what does work for me, what I can do, what I have knowledge of, what my soul is stirred to do, if that makes sense. And that's exactly what I do. And like I said, if you'll look back up through the comments, there is a comment that I posted, which is a link to my YouTube page, and I am doing tutorial videos on there. It's going to be a little bit of everything. I will have tutorials. I will have, on occasion, I will do interviews with other people in the community, getting their work out there. I'm really big on supporting other artists in the community and other groups in the community. And helping people find their way. I will be that perpetual lighthouse goddess. It will not change. As you can see, my lighthouse is behind me. I always said people find their way to me, they gravitate to me. It's not for them to stay with me, it's for me to send them to where they need to be. That works for me. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy someone finding their way. I like watching it. I like seeing people blossom and grow. Exactly, Michael. And that's what I had to do. I had to step out of what everyone else was doing and figure out what I wanted to do and what worked for me. And things have just really changed since then. Okay, I have no problem with that, Glenn. I'm going to shuffle now. You just think about what you need to know. Glenn, it is our Knight of Wands. Fire rules our passion, drive. This is Julie. Okay. Julie, Knight of Wands, passion, drive, desire, motivation, determination, and transformation. And this is your adventure card. Focus on things that you're passionate and driven about. It is a fun time. It also points to love. And this is a good time of adventure for you. Good night, gorgeous thing. Oh, you're welcome, Adrian. Good night to you too. Much love and many hugs to you, darling. Thanks for joining us. Lets me know you got a busy time ahead of you there, Julie. Got a lot coming your way. Just on the cards. Such amazing people that show up on these videos. You guys are awesome. And when I say thank you and how much I appreciate it, I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. You're welcome, Julie. I hope it helps. The first video I did, I was afraid no one would show up to watch it. And we ended up having quite a few views and a lot of comments. And it really made me feel very good and accepted. And I appreciated it very much. I enjoy talking to everyone. A lot of times I'll talk to people that I wouldn't normally have a chance to talk to. So that's great. Hi, Mary. I hope you're doing well, dear. It's been a long time. But yeah, I see people's names scroll by on our feed, and, you know, I'll watch it and I see kind of what's going on in your life, and I try and remember, and sometimes I'll post. It all depends on what kind of mood I'm in. It's not that I don't care. Just never know what I'm going to be doing, because I can tell you right now, a lot of times when I should be doing homework, I'm scrolling Facebook. I say it's writer's block. Yeah, that's what we're going to call it, and we're going to leave it at that. And so I really don't have time to stop and comment. And I just want you to know, if you want to ever share with me anything going on in your life, I am more than happy to listen and give feedback if needed, or just a congratulations, or a, hey, you're not in it alone, it's going to be okay type thing. But just because I don't respond doesn't mean that I don't see these things. And whenever you have something going on in your life, my heart is right there with you, good or bad. I like to celebrate the joys with you, and I like to be a rock there if you need it during the bad times. When you hurt, I hurt. Believe it or not, but I do. Chris, no, it's called ADHD, that too. I'm afraid, yeah, that too. I am very ADHD. That's sitting here now, it's all I can do to keep still. So I'm constantly moving and shuffling and rearranging and fidgeting. And for that, I apologize. As I get used to doing these videos, maybe I can get a little bit stiller and a little more focused. But with everything I've got going on right now, ADHD comes in handy. I'm not gonna lie. You can get a lot done. Sometimes it's half done, but it's done. I'm working on that a lot. I'm sure, Audrey. So, yeah, but it's nice to have people hop on here and say hey, and me kind of get an idea of who they really are and have them join in and all. It's just amazing. It's wonderful. You guys rock. I got some of the best friends on here. God. I'm definitely a blessed person. How did everyone fare through this full moon? Full moon in Cancer. I'm a Cancer. Um, I am born on the Cancer Gemini cusp on the Cancer side. So, bless poor Chris. He's like 3 different women that he's married to. He never knows who he's going to get, and he doesn't. Um, Half the time, I don't even know what woman he's going to get. But this one really got me. I had an issue with sleeping. I had an issue with my emotions. It was just a horrible full moon for me. And normally, I like to think, like, I'll say, oh, well, full moons don't bother me. I don't do anything during the full moon. I don't do this, that, and the other like other people will. And Chris will give me that look of, really. Um, and this one I noticed, and I don't know, maybe it's because I was paying more attention to it, but I noticed this full moon was really rocky. I don't usually dislike full moons. This one I wasn't too keen on. I actually do better in the dark moon. A lot of people will say, well, dark moon is a time for rest. No, not for me. Um, I really like the dark moon and the new moon. The new moon is all about new opportunities and new beginnings, and I'm all about that. So that usually is my power time of the month. But boy, this full moon was pretty rough, but we've made it through. Um, it's almost over. If you've had a rough full moon, my heart goes out to you. Just know that it's starting to settle down some. I bet, Shala. And see, down here, we're supposed to get a little rain tonight. So we'll see how that goes. I love rain. My hair doesn't like it because I have naturally curly hair. If anyone has met me in person, especially during the summer in the South, you will see that it is never straight. It doesn't straighten. Delaware has been wonderful. My flat iron and I are getting along very well up here, because I grew up with red curly hair, and people would pick on gingers, and my hair always, there was no form to it. There was no control to it. It just kind of does its own thing. Chris and I laugh and we call it the beast, because it truly is. I mean, look at my bangs now. They're doing their own thing. They don't care. They're just going to do whatever they want to do. Doesn't matter what I want them to do. They don't care. But up here in Delaware, the humidity's not so bad, so I've been able to keep it straight, as you can see. I'm a straightener gal. I know, Cheryl, I would be flipping out right now. And this is, will lead into another topic. By the way, hi, Chris. Hi, David. Thanks for joining. Because I am a cusp child, I am primarily Cancer. Cancer is ruled by water, and Gemini is ruled by air. And I always say that when my element of air takes over, that's the bad me. That's the dark me. You got to be careful. When I am in Cancer, I am all about nurturing, and I'm all about teaching, and I'm all about the good stuff. And then the air takes over, and it's do whatever I want to do to make me happy. And so I have to be really careful on my air sign. And my air sign is very, very sarcastic too. Very sarcastic. And so I have to be very careful with our moon phases. Because of that, I have to be very careful with my surroundings because of that. Does that make sense? I love full moons, more sunlight in the darkness of the night. Yeah, it is. Full moons are beautiful. I think they're absolutely stunning. But Shala, yeah, going back to your tornado watches around there and warnings, when it comes to the tornado part, I freak out. That was one thing that we looked at up here in Delaware, was the fact that there are fewer tornadoes than what you have down south. because I spaz. I just turn into complete spaz. I haven't missed that at all. The winds get pretty high and rough around here sometimes, but we're like 12 minutes from the beach. So Delaware's not a very big state at all. It is a very tiny state. You've got the beach 12 minutes this way, and you've got Maryland about 10 minutes that way. But there's also a bay there. So we're definitely, we're surrounded by water, which is great for me. It's probably why I'm so happy up here. But yeah, it's been nice to have that break. And while I've been worried about you all, it's been nice to not have that pit in the bottom of my stomach waiting. Dr. Singal, hello to you. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Ian. Does anyone else work well with the dark moon or with the new moons, that they prefer that over the full moon? I'm just curious. Or maybe I'm just the freak. I don't know. A lot of practitioners will say, oh, the full moon is the best night. And I mean, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I love a full moon. There is beauty like no other in that moon. And I raised my daughter, Adriana, which for those of you who don't know, that when I talk to Audrey or Bug on here, that's Adriana Trotter. She's my daughter. And I raised her that when the moon is at her peak, kiss her thrice upon the cheek. And we make our heart's desire known to Mother Moon. So I do not have a problem with the full moon. Love full moon. It's beautiful. It's powerful. There is no doubt about it. There's so much you can work with the full moon, whether it be the front side of it or the tail side. Front side we bring to us, the tail side we push away. But yeah, new moons are my thing. Dark and new moons. Lots of rain and winds, Hazel. New moon is your favorite. Yay. Yay. I'm not alone. Audrey says she loves the air sign for me. Shh. That's my naughty side, you guys. Like I said, when I'm in Cancer, I'm all about nurturing. And when I get to the Gemini side, I'm like, ugh, whatever. It depends on my intention, what I'm doing as to which I get more strength from. Understandable. Very understandable, Shala. I will tell you now, people will say, well, you know, I'm going to do this spell this month. I've got this spell to do, and I need to wait until the full moon before I do it. And I have to laugh and tell people, and I'm not laughing at you, Shala, please, I'm not, because when I can work with the moon phases, I do. But I'll tell people, if you have a need, do not wait. It's all in how you tweak it, okay? If you're curious as to what that means, say you want to open doors for yourself, you want new opportunities or a new beginning, and we're on the back side of the full moon. We're going through that waning moon, and waning is all about pushing away. Well, instead of waiting until the new moon, go ahead and act now and push your obstacles out of the way. Push anything out of the way that could stop it. Does that make sense? Because essentially a spell is a prayer spoken in rhyme. You wouldn't wait to pray, so why would you wait to conjure? That's cool, Audrey. Dr. Singal, I've seen in my research women with strong moon in their astrology chart have big bosoms. It represents motherly feeling and unconditional love. Yes, it does. This is a whole thing. If I can touch anyone and help uplift and inspire someone, then job well done. I can go to sleep good at night. Yeah, I'll get one for you in just a second. She looks like a chipmunk, by the way. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, girl. And your leather pants. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Hazel. You work it for the moon phase you're in. I always went up and down with my weight in school. When I was a little girl, I was stick thin. And then it was an up and down battle. And I never felt pretty enough. I never felt small enough. My self-esteem sucked. I'm telling you, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. And whenever I was in a group with other women, if any men looked, of course, I thought, well, they're not looking at me. They're looking at the other women here in the group. They're not looking at me. Why would they look at me? And when I embraced my pagan roots and became very active in the pagan community, I would say things, well, I can't do that. Not like this. I'd never dance skyclad around a fire. I don't want to scare everybody. And Uncle Joe told me one day, and he was like, but honey, you are goddess shaped. And the goddess has big, and this is what I teach my students, your B's, your 3 B's: big boobs, big belly, big butt. And it's the wide hips. It's all about bringing life. It's all about giving birth to everything in our life. And when he said it like that, I was like, so I'm goddess shaped, okay. And the amazing thing is I started getting confidence in myself. I started feeling better, and I thought, you know what, this is me. Like it or not, this is me. If you think I'm pretty, great. If you think I'm ugly, great. I don't care. As long as I can be comfortable with me, that's all that matters. So I hope that other people will take heed in that, because there's so much pressure from society today for women to look perfect. And you know what? No one's perfect, sweetheart. We're all human. There is no one that is perfect. No one. But we find perfection in our imperfections. But yes, Glenn, I'm going to pull for you now, love. I just want y'all to know, on a personal note, Glenn, you and Julie are just my favorite couple. I watched for months you guys talking on here, and for those that don't know, Glenn and Julie and I all went to high school together. And Julie is such a beautiful soul. She's amazing. Her daughter Emily pops up in here and talks. And Julie's just so beautiful inside and out. And Glenn's just one of those good guys, all around good guys. Was that way in high school, is that way now as adults, you know. When I grow up, I want to be like Glenn. He's just so laid back and chilled on everything. He's just got a real good mentality. And these two had been talking to each other for several years on Facebook and commenting, and we're all sitting back. It wasn't just me, it was plenty of us. We're like, come on, you two, come on. When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And when they finally got together, everybody was just like, oh, yay, 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 yay. So they are just absolutely precious. We love Glenn and Julie together, and I wish them the absolute very best. Glenn, the card that comes up for you is our Knight of Swords. Now, swords mean strife and difficulty, but this is the air card. And air rules our thoughts and our imagination. And this is our change card. It's telling me that right now, change how you're looking at things. Okay. I will, Michael. I've got to pull one for Dr. Singal, and then I'll pull one for you. Okay. Dr. Singal, do you see me opening organic farming, buying agriculture land, and opening? Yes, I do. I'm going to pull just to make sure. But yeah, I do. That's something that I've already felt. Yeah, I feel very strong on that. Hi, Cynthia. Glad you could join us. And Michael, after I pulled, I'm going to pull a card just to confer, or to confirm for Dr. Singal, and then I'll pull your card. Spread them out. And if people wonder how you do it, or what I'm doing when I put the cards down and I close my eyes and I say I'm feeling the energy, what I do is I'll run my hand over the cards, all of them, and I usually feel a little tug in the palm of my hand. It gets warm, it might tingle, or my gut kicks up. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And I go back and I dig until I find the card. And that's what I'm doing right now. Dr. Singal, it's our King of Discs. You have the knowledge. Okay, you will have the money to do it. Good question. In India or abroad? Let me think on this for a minute. I have a feeling it starts in India, but it spreads. But the very beginning is in India, yes. Michael, I'm going to pull for you. Yes, congratulations on becoming a dad, Michael. I was saying earlier, all the babies are growing up and having babies. You guys are aging me. Cut it out. Seriously, cut it out. Michael, have they said anything about possible twins? Or do you know? I'm going to wait for Michael to respond. I'm grabbing a drink. Sorry, you guys. I'm so parched. You're welcome, Glenn. Chipmunk. That's her new name. Chipmunk. Okay, Cynthia, I'll look in just a minute. I'm waiting on Michael for a minute. There's only one in the ultrasound. Okay. Is mom having any health issues? Is her blood pressure high? I'll get to you in a minute, Dr. Singal. Waiting to see if Michael answer. It's the Chariot card, the reason why I'm asking. Around 7 months along, there could be... No, Michael. Yeah, the mom. That's right. My bad. Is the mom's blood pressure high? Yes, baby's mom. The one carrying. And real quick, Dr. Singal, they're just telling me around 3 years for it to start becoming successful, but you're looking at more of 5 years before it really, really takes off. Okay. Okay, Michael, it was just a little bit. Okay, we need to keep an eye on that. Definitely, I kind of get the feeling that she may end up going on bed rest the final couple of months of the pregnancy. It's just showing me that there could be some issues coming up. I'm not going to freak you out because it's nothing like, oh my gosh, this is a bad thing. Just we need to keep track of this. We need to keep a look at it, okay? It could be a little bit of a bumpy ride there for a little bit, but it'll get under control. And just remind her to rest. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Jeannie. It's good to see you. Cynthia, I'm going to pull for your friend now. I'm going back up. Okay. We'll take a look. Thanks for joining us, Aaron. Sure, Aaron. We'll pull one in just a minute. Cynthia, for your friend, Knight of Swords. There are some changes going on, but this is more within self. So it might be that they need to sit down and have a talk and put everything out that they're wanting to have happen, okay? Be very upfront and honest about this and stop looking at things the way she used to. I'm not sure what that means necessarily, but it's just saying look at things, change the way she's looking at things, okay? And Aaron, I'm going to pull. Yes, Dr. Singal. That's the gut I'm feeling. 5 years before it really, really, really catches on and it becomes more than just a regional type thing. Aaron, I'm so glad you are here. Thank you so much. Sabrina, hey, love. Hope everyone's doing well down there in Blue Ridge. Okay, Aaron, the card that I pulled is our water card. It's our Six of Cups, and it's actual nostalgia. Now, I've explained before, our elements rule certain areas of our life, and water is all about ruling our intuition and our emotions, okay? So be very careful about getting stuck in how things used to be, Aaron. Have you been missing the way things used to be lately? Maybe thinking about, well, things were going so good at this point, and I wish things were like that. Maybe it's you're missing a person that's no longer around or is no longer involved in your life. This is letting us know not to get bogged down in that nostalgia, okay? All right, Shyla, thank you for joining us, okay? I sure will, Jeannie. I will. Much love to you, Shyla and Michael. I'm glad the mom's living there with you all. Keep an eye on her with her blood pressure, okay? Sabrina, that's good to know. I'm glad everyone's good down there. I've been seeing that baby boy just grow. Oh, my gosh. You're welcome, Aaron. Like I said, I do private readings, you guys. 30 minutes, $35 an hour is 65, very reasonable rates. When we do I'll get to you, Mary, in just 1 minute, right after Jeannie's card. I take PayPal, I take Facebook Pay, Chime, Cash App, and for my European friends, I take Payoneer. You're welcome, Dr. Singal. Okay, Shyla. We'll tell Michael to have a good day at work tomorrow. And again, congratulations. You're welcome, Jeannie. But personal readings are a lot more private. We can really dive into situations going on in your life. I do have references if anyone needs them. I've been reading for a very, very, very long time. And then let's see. Jeannie, I'm going to pull for you now, dear. Just give them a good shuffle. It kind of clears everything out. And we got Jeannie's card. This one's just jumping out. Jeannie, it's our World Tree card. Okay? Our World Tree card, when we look at our major arcana, which is what the World Tree is, okay? The tarot deck is broken down into a major set and a minor set. Major tells us major life events, and minor tells us those everyday smaller details, which are just as important as the major ones. And when we are on a particular path in our life, I'll get to you in just a minute, Sabrina, I'll explain. When we get to a particular path in our lives, we've done everything we're supposed to on that path. Things start changing and we start a new path. And we know we've reached the end of our current path when we hit that World Tree card. That lets me know that everything is moving forward as it should. The coming several years are going to be adventurous for you. New beginnings definitely on the horizon for you. Julie, Glenn, good night. You guys have a great evening. Much love to you too. Okay. I hope that helps, Jeannie. You just got some new things coming your way, dear. Okay. And if you need a reading to point to anything, you just let me know. Now I'm going to pull from Miss Mary, who's been so patient, and the card just flipped over. I like it when they do that because now I know I'm dead on. I don't have to guess and keep, wait a minute, and trying to feel that energy pull. When they jump out at you, you listen. This is our Earth card, our Two of Discs. It's grounding and stability, finances, and knowledge. But this lets me know there's fluctuation that's going to be going on in your love life here. Okay? You're going to have your good times. You're going to have your bad times. However, it is an Earth card, so that means that it's something that could be long-lasting for you. It could be something that's serious. You're welcome, Jeannie. And when I'm holding the cards up, I don't know if you can tell. You can see I've got the ink all over my hands. I promise I'm not dirty. My sweet, loving husband, since I'm a writer, bought me a fountain pen for Yule, and I spent some time this afternoon putting ink in the fountain pen. This looks much better than what it was. My legs are covered in ink. After I get off here, I'm going to have to get in there and get a shower and scrub. It's horrible. But I tell you right now, it's the absolute best pen I've ever written with. It's one of my favorite Yule gifts. And actually, this is it. Isn't it beautiful? He said with me being a writer, he thought all writers need a fountain pen. And so I have that. And, you know, not a bit of ink on my fountain pen, but all over me. The computer, the bed, My clothes. See, it just dripped out. You're welcome, Mary. You're welcome, dear. Now, I'm posting a link to my my YouTube channel. There it is. Please click on that. Check us out. I'll have tutorials on there. I upload my Facebook videos to there. Definitely please click on subscribe so you'll get notifications. Support me. Come on. Need the help? Your daughter found out she's pregnant. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Which daughter, honey? And Sabrina, they're awesome to write with. They write so good. Oh, I'm just making lists all over today just because I like the way it writes. I do have a question. Mr. has a friend moving from Philly by my birthday. I guess it says it's been worked out for here. Okay. All right. Tiffany, hey, darling. It's good to see you on here. We're pulling cards for if you have a question, honey. One question, one card. I'll pull. Yeah, you're right, Cynthia. Careful. Okay. Be very, very careful. Did I miss something that Shala said? Okay. Making sure. Tiffany, how you doing, love? I've been following you on Facebook. You're still in Florida, correct? Do you have a question, Sabrina, or do you just want a general pull? Like I said, I'm just doing one now. I'll do private readings separately. Kinsley, Jeannie. Oh, wow. Oh, the babies are growing up. Hazel, be safe. Sending energy your way. Much love to you. I will, Cynthia. I'll inbox you when I get done here. Okay. Do you want to ask your question in open forum, Sabrina, or do you just want to say, pull a card for me? It's up to you. While I wait, please know that not only do I do readings, I do ritual baths. Tell her she's quite welcome, Cynthia. My pleasure. I do ritual baths and washes. I do intentional candles. I do blessing kits, protection kits, prosperity kits, change of luck. Where's Chad at? I'm telling you, Sabrina, every time I think about you, I still go back to Chad. Every time. But we'll pull and we'll see, okay? I don't know why it keeps going back to a Chad, but it does. It's been that way for what, almost 2 years now? I can't explain it. It's one of those things I cannot explain. I just know. It's a fire card. It's a recovery card. Now, this is a wands, okay? When you look at the picture, you see the many different areas and facets and aspects that we can relate to an actual person. The person coming your way, darling, is still recovering things that are passionate for him. Probably gone through a bad breakup, a bad divorce, and it's a time of healing for him. You want him healed before he comes along, okay? We don't need any extra baggage, darling. Yeah, I have no problem with that, Shala. Chad's waiting on you. No, I'm kidding, Sabrina. I don't know why I always go back to Chad. I do. I keep going back to Chad. I can't get away from that. I don't understand. And so it's either going to be a name, first name, a last name, a middle name. It's going to be, maybe it's something to do with a street. But the name Chad keeps coming up predominantly for you, and it doesn't change. Okay. For baby mama, we have our high priestess card. Okay. It is all about nurturing right now. It is all about mysteries being made known. It is all about using your voice. It is all about stating what you need. And also, darling, I want to point out, Lauren, that watch that blood pressure. Okay. No, he's only emotionally unavailable right now, sweetheart. He's going through recovery for it. Have faith. Have faith. Did I not peg your sister? I knew. She couldn't tell me any different. I knew. So I'm saying this for you. Maybe he's got a kid named Chad, but the name Chad revolves around him. And they've never cleared it up, so it's not time. But be real careful with that blood pressure, sweetie. Keep an eye on it. Don't be surprised if around 7 months that you end up going on bed rest. It's okay. I do feel like everything's going to be okay. However, it could just be kind of touchy there for a little while. If they're going to tell you take it easy, watch what you eat, try and keep your stress level down low, meditate, do whatever you can to keep that stress down and keep wee one nice and happy. Okay. I also just putting this out there. I do readings for babies before they're here. I've done that quite often, and we can get a sense of the baby's personality, likes and dislikes, and also any heads up you need to know for delivery and stuff. And again, that's covered under a private reading. So if anyone's interested, someone's expecting, you're expecting, anything like that, you want to get a reading, you let me know. She's quite welcome, Shala. Anytime. Shala and I go way back. Hi, Andrew. Thanks for joining us. Good. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. And that'll help things. We want to nip it in the bud before it can get out of hand. Like I said, I've posted, if you can look back up through the comments, I'll do it again. This is a link to my YouTube channel. Please click on it. I upload the videos from Facebook there, but I also do tutorials. We're going to have a variety of different videos coming up in the coming months, everything from instructional tutorials to DIY to one of my real passions is getting in there and doing some interviews with some famous folks to get up there. So definitely check it out. Click on the link. Please hit subscribe, and you'll be notified as I add new videos. Sabrina, no, I don't remember. I'm bad about that. Tim. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? Long time no see. Tim's another one I go way back with. Mr. Timothy Strong, Jr. Known him since he was knee-high to a grasshopper. And now he's just such a wonderful, strong man. And I've been watching him branch out and starting his own life. And I mean, he's got incredible parents anyway, so he had a leg up in this world on that one. But it's amazing to sit back and see all these kids grown now, and just how amazing they're turning out. Gives me hope for the future, without a doubt. Should I remember something about Ashley's reading, Sabrina? Because I don't remember. I'm bad about that, you guys. I'll do a reading, and the minute I tell you it's out of my head. It's not that I don't care what your reading was. It's just it's not for me. It's for you. So sometimes I'll go, well, I'm not quite sure, and you kind of have to jog my memory. We've had a lot of comments on this feed. Nice. Very nice. Yes, I'm here to help. But yes, this is how I make my living. I'm not going to lie. Mama got to pay the bills, y'all. So that part of doing this is to build up my clientele. especially since we've moved to Delaware. I'm having to build up a whole new client list. I do readings via email, telephone, instant messaging, video calls. I have no problem with that. So definitely, if you want a reading, you let me know and we'll get you hooked up and get you in really quickly, okay? We're going to have about 5 minutes left on this one. We're coming up almost on 2 hours, you guys. I had a lot more people join in than I thought for a Saturday night. I'm really glad. And if you guys have any suggestions, comments, ideas, please feel free to drop them in the comments section. I try and go back and read every single one. If I do not respond or I do not hit like, there's a chance I didn't see it, and I do apologize. Please feel free to send me a message and say, hey, I suggested this, and we'll see what happens. Okay, you guys? And then Cynthia, when we get off here, I'll send you a message, dear. After I cut my fan on, because it is so flipping hot up here. Whew. And I've got the fan on off so you don't hear it. It doesn't give any background noise in the microphone. Okay, we'll talk about that, Cynthia. You're welcome, hon. Anytime. That's my sister. Anytime. I would put it, if I wish I knew a way to put a picture up there. I was gonna say Cynthia's my sister from another mister, and we favor. Okay. I think we're coming to the end of it then, you guys. Nothing else going on. Okay. Like I said, I put a link in the comments to my YouTube channel. I'll be doing this again probably tomorrow night. I'm trying, or tomorrow afternoon. Just watch my Facebook page, and I'll be putting there when I'm going to be doing them. This is more of a trial and error right now, you all. It is one of those that I'm trying to figure out what times work best. Can you do a YouTube going more in depth with Indigo? Yeah, I can. Yeah. I'll add that to my list of the Indigo and Crystal Children. Indigo and Crystal Children are fascinating. I have no problem with that, sweetie. That is one of the topics I will touch base on. And I'd like to be one of those, to be one that I get someone that we can interview about too, that knows a lot more about it than just me. And we can get, that we can get people in there. You have the encyclopedia, which is what I call my first year from you. There's a lot of information, Shala. It was a lot of information. My entire book that I used to teach out of was destroyed in the flood. It was about 7 to 8 years worth of knowledge that I had gathered through the years before I started to teach. And as I taught, I was adding to it, and it was in this big, thick notebook. It was about that big. Every single bit of it out, gone. I did not have it saved. The flash drive I had, I don't know whatever happened to it. We got the first couple of lessons retyped before I lost the book. But I'm starting over. I'm starting over on that. It was. The most fascinating thing through it all is my very first private book of shadows. I have a book of shadows that I used for coven or community, and then I had my personal one. And a book of shadows is very personal, and this is one that would not get passed on. I had it plans that when I pass away, it is to be burned with me, is to be cremated with me. And I thought I had lost it in the flood. I mean, I lost all my magical stuff, all my supplies. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible to be wiped out completely. But then again, water's the originator of life, so it brought me new life, and it's given me a new direction. So I can't complain too much about that. But I thought my original Book of Shadows was gone, and it broke my heart. And after we moved in with some friends in Aba, after the flood, we stayed there for not quite a year. Um, I was looking through something one day, and lo and behold, there's my Book of Shadows. I never remember putting it in the file folder where it was. It shouldn't have been in there. It should have been by my bed, which is where I used to keep it, and everything in that area got completely destroyed. And so I remember seeing my Book of Shadows and just crying and thinking, wow, this is amazing that I still have it, and I have it now. So I didn't lose everything. I didn't lose everything. And what I did lose can be replaced. I look at things a little bit differently now, Shyla. Took a lot of experience to get me where I am now. Good or bad, it's got me where I am. And I like me. Something I didn't do for a long time. I see myself as worthy now. And like I said, it's taken a long time for me to get to that point. And that's something that I want to do with others is show them their value, show them their worth, and let you know that you are all beautiful creations of the divine. They do, Shyla, they do. My big cauldron, Big Mama, we lost it down there, and it ended up in the hands of another girl in the community. She found it. So she has it down there right now, as well as a few other things that I had. So it's amazing how in this great big world, how things seem to find their way back to you or around you. And I've learned something that I remind myself constantly when I start to think, because it still happens, I still get down and I think, oh, I miss the way things used to be, but that's not it's not where I am in my life now. It's a new era, it's a new phase of my life, and that doesn't have any place here now. It got me to where I needed to be, but they're not needed any longer. And I have to tell myself, you know what? Certain things, somebody else needed them more than I did. Thank you, Shyla. Hi, George. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, Shyla, I think there is a big difference. Do you want me to pull a card, Mary? I have no problem with that. Life experiences took me down a road that I didn't think I'd ever go down. I've seen good, I've seen bad, I've seen the worst in people, and I've seen the absolute best in people. And each one is considered a blessing to me. And like I said, it kind of shaped the way I look and think about things today. I think in the time from what you knew me, I've really grown more into myself and more into my craft. And I don't know, it really changed the way I look at things overall. Oh, George, come on in. We don't mind at all. Everyone's welcome. But Mary, you want me to pull a card for someone else, or you want a private read, dear? You just let me know. We've got about a minute left on this one. But like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do 1 card questions. You're at the farm. Which one? Thank you, Shyla. That means a lot. It means a lot. I don't worry so much about what everybody else thinks anymore. Private? Okay, Mary, I'll send you a message as soon as I get off here. I'm about to wrap it up, and I'll send you a message, dear. But yeah, I really, I had to stop worrying about what everybody else thinks. I had to stop thinking, is this the right way? It was right for me. So that worked. And as long as I'm not hurting anyone else, then I kind of look at it as, yeah, it's the right thing. Fairy Glenn. Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I hope everything is going well down there at Fairy Glen. I've moved since Fairy Glen. I'm in Delaware now. I moved back in August. Oh, you're going to love it down there, George. Some great people, some great vibes, some great energies. So I hope you enjoy your time there. Fairy Glen is one of the groups in the upstate. It's down near Sandy Springs, Pendleton area of Anderson County. Oh, yeah, definitely. That place has been around for a long time, a very long time. But like I said, some amazing people out there. I was very blessed to meet a lot of people there. All right, you guys. Well, we are 2 hours in, so that will end this video. We usually keep it about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I wish I could go on more, but I do need to answer some emails, you all, and it's getting a little bit late. So please keep a watch on my Facebook page. Again, oh, George, you're going to learn so much there. You will, dear. You will learn so much. I just posted the link again to the YouTube channel. Make sure you check that out. George, I'm going to do a lot of tutorials on YouTube too. Okay? It might be something you want to check out. If it's for you, great. If it's not, that's fine. But we just did a first introduction video today, and I'm going to try and keep these videos posted at least once a week on YouTube. The ones on Facebook that we're doing now, those will be done every Tuesday night, every Thursday night, and then at least once on the weekend. Tonight was the first time that we've done it on a Saturday night. I just started this past week. I'm trying to get a feel for everybody of what works best for them. So tell your friends. And definitely, I would love to interact with everybody a little bit more. I'm sorry, George. I'm going to go on tomorrow, okay? And make sure you check me out tomorrow, if you would, please. Tomorrow, I'll get up in the morning, and depending on how school goes, I will post when we are going to go live tomorrow. I'm thinking probably around 6 o'clock tomorrow, between 6 and 8. And if I don't have much of a turnout because of the time, then that's fine. I'll stay on a little bit later. But that will be it for tonight's video. I'm going to go ahead and get this loaded up to YouTube. Again, click on the link for YouTube. Please click subscribe. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm pulling one card per question, George. Okay. And before we go, I'll go ahead and I'll pull that real quick. Are you wanting a private read, or do you want one of the one card questions? Private reads are $35 for 30 minutes and $65 for an hour. Wow. This jumped out at me, George. It's our Ace of Discs. It's an abundance. It's abundance in grounding and stability, finances, and knowledge. You are where you need to be, dear. You are definitely where you need to be, and you're going to have an influx of knowledge heading your way, okay? So absorb. Be that sponge. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Thomas. Oh, I hate that we're heading out now, but I'm glad you guys joined us. Shala, much love and light to you, darling. You have a good night. George, you're going to be happy there, okay? You're building your house at the farm. You're going to be very happy there. That's a good place for you. You get an abundance in those areas of grounding and stability, finances, and knowledge, okay? I'm very happy for you. If anybody would like a private reading, just send me a message, and we will get that set up. I take Facebook Pay, Chime, Cash App, PayPal, and for my European friends, I have Payoneer. So you can pay in pounds, whatever, and they'll convert it for USD. Okay. All right, you guys are amazing. You're awesome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and for being so involved. George, definitely check out my YouTube page. You're going to learn a lot. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, that is it for me for tonight. We're a little over 2 hours now. I appreciate everyone for joining. Watch my Facebook page because we're going to keep doing this, and I'll have some tomorrow, okay? Much love to you all. Thank you so much. Be good to each other. Spread kindness. And as always, be the change. Much love.